A quick Google search on resilience yields hundreds of lists of tips and strategies for how to help students develop resilience, including modeling resilience, practicing mindfulness, and encouraging students to become comfortable with mistakes. Sifting through those nuggets of wisdom can seem daunting. In this video series, you're being invited to shift your focus toward responding with compassion, connection, and empowerment in the classroom. Let's take a look at how those three responses actually provide a framework for helping students develop resilience. We are defining resilience as the quality that allows one to bounce back after a setback, to thrive, not just survive, in the midst of challenges. So, what sort of challenges do our students face? This is the original framework for ACEs, or adverse childhood experiences, that many students live with, including abuse, neglect, and the presence in the home of mental illness, incarceration, domestic violence, and divorce. This more recent model incorporates a second set of ACEs, adverse community environments. Many adverse experiences in a child's life are connected to a lack of resources and increased threats in their communities, including economic insecurity, poor housing, and discrimination. The effects of adverse childhood experiences are compounded when they occur in the context of adverse community environments. How well a student bounces back after a challenge is impacted by a variety of factors, seen here as layers of influence, where the outer circle represents the student's culture and community, the middle circle represents the classroom environment, and the center circle represents the individual student's personality and experiences. When we apply the framework to these layers of influence, it's easy to see how responding with compassion, connection, and empowerment can directly impact a student's resilience. We respond with compassion to the cultural and community challenges our students face by creating a learning environment that is physically and psychologically safe and stable. This includes cultivating a sense of community, belonging, and identification, setting clear expectations for social norms and behaviors, and providing opportunities for decision-making and skill building. We respond with connection by attending to the relationship we have with each student. Connection fosters resilience. In fact, according to Harvard University's Center on the Developing Child, the single most common factor for children who develop resilience is at least one stable and committed relationship with a supportive adult. These relationships provide the personalized responsiveness, scaffolding, and protection that buffer children from developmental disruption. They also build key capacities such as planning, monitoring, and regulating behavior that enable children to adapt to adversity and thrive. Connection could mean stationing yourself in the hallway before class, making eye contact, and greeting each student by name as they enter the classroom. Or it might look like selecting a student you've had a hard time connecting with and spending 2 minutes a day for 10 days chatting with that student about something they're interested in. Resilient students are characterized by an optimistic outlook, a developed sense of purpose, an attachment to their family and community, effective problem-solving skills and coping mechanisms, and a positive view of themselves. We can nurture these qualities through empowerment. 2 strategies for empowering students are asking growth-oriented questions and encouraging ownership of learning. Growth-oriented questions might include, what did you learn during this task? In what way was it difficult? Did you make any mistakes? If so, which ones? What skills did you employ during this activity? Which had you previously used? If you could do the assignment over again, what would you do differently? What advice would you give a student who's just starting this task? One strategy for encouraging ownership of learning is using formative assessment tools like this, in which students are given an opportunity to reflect not only on the final product, but also on the process of completing the assignment. By responding with compassion, connection, and empowerment, we can help our students to cultivate greater resilience. In our next video, we'll explore more strategies for empowering students. We'll see you then.